All right, so it's Friday morning. I just got back from checking on cows. They're all looking good. Calf's still healthy. It made me a little bit nervous. He wasn't up there with his mom, but I found him. He was just laying down, sleeping. No big deal. They do that. You know, he's a few days old. So I'm going to eat some lunch, and then I'm going to work on getting all this kind of broken down into lumber that I can use and get that stacked underneath the camper. The stuff that I can't use, I'll stack over by the fire pit. I'll burn that. And then this sheet metal, my buddy that I bought the pipe from, he needs some sheet metal for a barn he's been working on, just kind of refurbishing. And so I'm going to bring him some of that when I bring his trailer back, and I'll probably try to do that either tomorrow or Sunday. Then, depending on what time I finish up with this, I'm going to go rip all the barbed wire that I found out of the ground in the pasture. I can't get it out by hand. It's kind of buried under the ground, so I'll get the tractor out there. And then I got some brush hogging I need to get done if I have time after that. So, yeah, I'm going to eat lunch and then get started on this. While I was down there by the hay barn where that red four-wheeler is, I was tinkering with it a little bit, and I adjusted the set screw on the, like for the idle, and the battery's dead, of course. So I had to kick start it, but I kicked it one time, it fired right up. So I thought, okay, good. And then it was idling really high because I turned it up a lot to make sure it would start. And then started backing it down. I went a little bit too far, sputtered out and died. So I went back another turn or so to raise the idle. Could never get it started again. So having to kick start it, I was getting irritated. So I'm hungry. I'm going to eat lunch and we'll do something else for a little bit. And then I might go back and mess with that again later on this weekend as well. Yeah, so my time lapse kind of failed, but I was having to deal with all this tall grass and stuff as I was working in here. I got a lot of it done, got a lot of it moved. I decided I was just going to burn all this off. That's kind of the plan anyway. I wanted to get all this other stuff out of there first, and anyway, it's just a pain to work in, so I'm just sitting here babysitting this now. I'm almost done. Just this last little corner is all that I got left. Grass burns really hot. Trying to get away from me over there. I bet it'll be okay though. So anyway, I'm gonna finish burning this off, and then I don't know if I'll keep trying to drag stuff out of there or not. This is all, you can see, standing water, and there's a big chunk of that panel under there that I need to get out. But it's just muddy and nasty and heavy, so I may bring a tractor up here and use the loader to get that out of there. And then my impact driver hanging on the fence there, when I was making that covered mineral trough, I rounded out the 1/4 inch nut driver that I had for it, and so I was using just a socket with like a little 1/4 inch square drive adapter, and I lost the socket. That's the only one I have out here, so that chunk right over here, I want to take that apart to make it easier to handle, but I don't have a screw gun anymore that'll work for that, so I'll have to get a new one of those. So I may be about done with this for today anyway. And then I got a nice big pile of wood up there that I'm going to burn, so I'll probably have a little bonfire this evening once the sun goes down and start taking care of that. And so for now, I think after this is done, I'll go back, look at the cows again, and check on that one that I think is probably going to have her calf this weekend. Get another look at her, and then I might go dink around with that four-wheeler some more. So anyway, I'll bring it back here in a little bit. Digging through all this stuff, I found walls and giant bird's nest of barbed wire. I found a bunch of bricks. Pretty much everything but the kitchen sink. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah. There's the kitchen sink. Everything. I didn't get any video yesterday, but I didn't do a whole lot. I did get this fixed though. And so now I've got a bale spike for the back of the tractor. So back up here. See how big those bales are compared to the tractor when it's on there. Kind of goofy looking. So anyway, we're gonna go feed this one, get it out there for him, and I'll bring you back later. So I'd wanted to unroll this completely, and I got part of it, but it didn't work very good. I was trying to just push it with the tractor. Now they're all up in it. The net wrap is still buried under there. I'd wanted to get that out of there too, but they get all excited about it. I'm not going to go in there and get trampled trying to get the net wrap out. It'll be alright. Once they've had it out here for a while, they'll calm down, and then I'll come out and see if I can push it by hand maybe. I don't know. Pushing it with the tractor didn't work very good because then I was running over the top of it and actually started spinning the wheels when I got to this point, or I would have kept going. So I mean, that did what I wanted it to here, where it unrolled it all, and that just puts it out in like a big swath form, and then that helps reseed the ground with seeds and whatnot that are in the hay, and helps them get to it. And I think it's better than just putting it in a slow feed ring. And then I can do this all over the pasture, and then I don't end up with like a big pile of hay that didn't get eaten. And I think they're supposed to eat it better like this, because since it's in a smaller pile, they'll be able to get to it and eat it before they start pooping on it and pissing on it and stuff. So anyway, that's the idea. It didn't quite work out this time, so we'll have to kind of refine that and figure out a better way to unroll these bales. Look back on her. Which one's that? Yeah, 31. She's my one that I think is real close here. No calf yet. 28's acting kind of weird today. She's not usually nervous around me, but she's kind of running around weird. There's her little baby. Still doing good. Okay, I think I'm gonna go mess with that red four-wheeler for a little bit and see if I can get it started. I got a new battery for it, so we're gonna go try that. Alright, so I'm back out here looking at this four-wheeler, and a couple things that aren't real encouraging. In the toolkit I found emery cloth. I don't know if you can see, it's kind of a crummy day. It's getting dark on me. See that little scratch pattern on the side of that though? That's from cleaning spark plugs with. And it was brand new when, or I hadn't used it, it already had that on there when I pulled it out of the bag. So that means I've had spark problems with it before. There's also, you can't see it, it's too dark. There's electrical tape on the spark plug wire though, so that's not a great sign. So they've had spark problems in the past, I suspect. It does have spark though, so with these motors they're really simple. It's either spark or it's gas. It's either not getting spark or it's not getting good fuel. And so you can test that. You just take the spark plug out, plug it back into its wire, set that up against the block, and then crank it a few times, and you'll be able to see if the spark plug has spark or not, and it does. So that's not the problem here. The problem is likely the carburetor, so it's right here. I pulled the bowl off the bottom of it here. There's a bunch of kind of grime down in there, and then I was looking at this, there's no fuel filter on this, and so likely I've got one of the little jets in the carburetor's clogged up. So I'm going to take that to work with me where we have a parts washer, and on my lunch break I'll pull that apart and clean it out real good and make sure there's no other problems. You can see, you guys probably won't be able to, but inside there, you can kind of see it, all that kind of gunk. That's called glazing. That is real typical of a small engine that has had ethanol gas run through it. So, we'll try to run pure gas in these for the rest of their lives, but they've probably been running ethanol in them, and pure gas is hard to find in some places, so may just not been an option for them. But that's likely what's going on here. Is I've got the carburetors probably gummed up probably from ethanol gas. So anyway, we'll get that fixed. I'm gonna cover up the hole here in the engine. We have been getting some rain, so I'll find something to put over that so that there doesn't get any water in it. I don't know what I'm going to use yet, but anyway, probably wrap this video up right here. Come back to you next week, or maybe in the middle of the week whenever I finish putting that four-wheeler back together. So, like I said, kind of turned into a miserable day, but the cows are over there. They're happy. They got hay. Everyone's healthy, so. All right. Well, like I said, wrap this one up for the day. So, catch you guys next time.